to me like.
Every day feels boring, the same thing, routine in the morning. Grew up too fast without warning, and when it rains it's pouring. I got dreams, big dreams, I wanna do big things, but I just can't seem to put it all together. I just wanna be seen. I'm jumping ship, I'm a diving, middle of the ocean, swimming till I find it. I see an island out ahead, filled with things that I've wanted since I was a kid. Swim to it.
Hey. What's up, Amber? Hey, Kiwi. Key Pow, whatever. What's up, Orion? Where's everyone? Hello. It's been a long day. Long 2 days. The radiation week 1 is done. Complete. Now I don't have to go back till Monday. What's up, Sherry? So I'll wait for more people to get here because there's not that many. What's up, Miracles? Hey, Tony. Good evening. What's up, Sherry? Amber? Yeah. So I want you guys to know that I watched a couple of minutes of Lisa from Crimes and Fashion. Oh my God, her crying made me cry. I couldn't believe it. I was like, all right, I can't watch this. How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. A little tired. I've been more tired. But overall, pretty good. It's a pain in the ass driving every damn day. Hey, SoFlo. So that's the one thing that's pain in the ass. But what are you going to do? Hey, Julia. So a couple of things I want to straighten out. Then I want to talk about something I've been dying to talk about forever. And there's also new updates. And it really frustrates me looking on the tubes. And it's like, so Micah Miller turned out to be a suicide. So now everyone went right back to Sebastian Rogers. Like, oh my God, really, guys? There's nothing new with Sebastian Rogers. Nothing. So why is everybody like running to it? Like, there's so much other crime going on. And I don't know if anyone's following that other case with the father and the treadmill. I hope they fucking hang that motherfucker. I don't watch the trial because trials bored me, but I have been watching the highlights of it. And I don't know, does anyone know about that case? Anyone following it? It's a wild case. It's really sad. You can't watch it? No, it's sad. And I hope they fucking hang this motherfucker. I really do. I saw the whole video of what he did to this kid. And I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? And then the guy was like crying in the courtroom. Like, bitch, please. You have no right to be crying. And I'm kind of surprised that nobody's discussing it. I mean, it's a pretty major trial. So, but that's a good thing because I'll be discussing it as long as I can get through the trial. But I've been watching the highlights and it's so sad. And if you're not familiar with the case, a young, good-looking father beat the shit out of a 6-year-old, but not beat him up, but abused him and kept putting him on a treadmill, and he ended up dying. Why are you barking at a pillow? And he ended up dying. There's more to it, but it's late and I'm tired. Hey, hold on. Let me get him a bone. Phoenix. Hold on a second. be bitching. All right. I am tired. Oh, yeah. You guys got to see this video of him crying in court, and it like shows what he did to his kid. Hold on. All right. He does need to pay. I hope they fucking put him in jail for life. Oh, you have been, Texas? Yeah, I haven't seen too many people talking about it. Trigger warning.
Sorry. Let's start at the beginning.
Hey, Southern Gal. There you are. Yeah, I don't know what Dad's doing all the way over here. Oh, he's working out. That's not what I was looking for. And do you know how fucking hurt this kid could have gotten? I mean, I don't know an adult that can jump back on that quick. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, permission to publish video D.
So basically, he did that for weeks, and the kid ended up dying. And now he's on trial, and I hope they fucking hang the motherfucker. To see him, the way he even picked him up and grabbed him and made him go back on, bitch, why don't you jump back on when it's fucking moving like that? But the kid it's something happened with his heart. But I mean, you see your son fall so many times. How do you even comprehend allowing it? You know what I mean? How do you even fucking comprehend? May I talk about this case? Yeah, are you gonna porn me? I don't know. I haven't watched the trial, so I'm not sure what happened with the mom. The father did not even call the mom when their son passed away at the hospital. His father was a piece of shit. That's why I see him cry. I'm like, bitch, please stop you damn crying. Blackbeard, I dropped the link. You better not be a troll. Yeah, the video I saw was him crying. It was disgusting. This poor kid did not deserve to die at all. Hey, Criminal Med. Hey, Kim. I think he didn't want him, but didn't want to pay child support. He hasn't come up yet. Hey, Alyssa. Hold on. While I'm waiting for him, oh, it's morbid? Is it morbid? Are you sure, Kim? Like 100% sure? Ah, then forget it. He's not coming up. Morbid, you're not coming up, so forget it. Hold on. Let me just edit the title. Hang on. All right. What the fuck? Oh, hold on. The room sprays are fabulous. Woohoo! I am so glad. No. Morbid, you're not coming up. Hang on. Is someone check and see if Morbid is live? Give me 1 second. All right. Just checked. Yeah, but he came back. Don't they all? He's live, then it's him. All right. All right. So, yeah. So that's the other case that I've been into. Hold on. Bear with me. Yeah, as a matter of fact, from what I remember, they had, hold on, let me get rid of them. From what I remember, he was only at the hospital for like 20 minutes. The guy didn't even cry. Like, how the fuck do you not cry? It was like he didn't even care about his poor son. That's what I'm saying. How do you do that to your child? What?
Laura,
What? You've got 2 seconds. What?
no, not 2 seconds. Like, why? I know this case because I did a full documentary on it, so I want to talk to you about it.
When did you do a full documentary on it?
I started working on it a day ago, and I finished it today. I completed it, so it's on my channel. So I know the Micah Miller. Like, no joke. I know this case, so I want to
Okay.
talk about
So
it.
what are you gonna add?
All right, so where are we at right now with you? Like, what do y'all? What are you thinking about this case? I'm just.
Disgusting. I think they should fucking hang the guy.
They need to hang him.
Yeah.
Now, is this for the abuse that he put on poor Micah? You know,
Wait.
the domestic violence.
You're talking 2 different cases.
Micah Miller?
That I'm not even up to yet. Hey, Southern gal.
That's
you're
the only
talking
case
about
I want to talk about. So
I'm not there yet.
all right, so I'll hold for Micah Miller. I mean, when we get in there, because that's what I heard. That's what I saw in your.
Yeah, no, that's later.
Can we talk about that now? What case are you talking about right now? And then maybe
Abuse, Christopher Gregor, child murder.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know anything about that. I know Micah Miller case.
All right, so what are you going to add to Micah's case? I mean,
can I get
I have a lot
like
to discuss on it.
your position on that real quick on what you think and feel?
I've always said it was suicide.
Which it is. I mean, the facts show that, the evidence, and then like, do you feel like okay? So when they say justice for Micah, does that
Girl,
how does that ring a bell for you as far as like when people are protesting and saying justice for Mica, because they're clearly saying, yo, she suffered a lot of domestic violence, and should there be a law in place to prosecute, like, the pastor John Paul Miller in this case for what he did psychologically to her, or can they even do that? I mean, is that something that
Here's
you're
the
for?
thing. The laws of America are not caught up to narcissists and psychological abusers and emotional abusers and financial abusers. The laws in court are not caught up yet. So the problem that you're going to see is the courts, there's no laws, even though personally I know exactly what he did to her, and that her suicide was a big combination of her own mental illness, but he pushed her. He knew what buttons to push. He knew how to drive her to the edge. And the fact that there's no laws against that, there's no laws, that say a narcissist can't fuck with your head, because he didn't do, quote unquote, anything illegal. He may have pushed her to the edge, but there's no way to prove that. Anyone that's dealt with a narcissist of that level, or a narcissistic abuser of that level, knows that he probably pushed her to the edge, that he definitely brought it to the end. But the courts can't prove that. And lawyers don't understand that. And judges don't understand that. And unless you've lived it and been in it, you have no idea what it is. And that's the problem.
Do you think that this case should be a turning point to prosecute domestic violence in the future, or it's just going to be shoved under the rug like it's nothing and let's move on, it's a suicide?
Cases like this are a dime a dozen. This happens all the time.
Why do you think this case is actually getting fire a little bit and people are interested?
If I knew what caused something to go viral, I would have your answer.
Well, she's beautiful. So, number one, we have a beautiful female woman, and it kind of brings you back to Shanann Watts. I mean, I just kind of get that feeling of like, because
she's a pastor's wife. The religious aspect.
There's religion aspect. Yeah, religious aspect. Yeah.
The cheating aspect. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
And so, what do you think should happen to Pastor John Paul Miller at this point moving forward? Like, should he be not allowed to have that authority anymore to be lead pastor, sort of like a lead a church? Because that's a huge sort of, I don't know if did you grow up like Christian or what?
No, I didn't grow up
or in a church or
Jewish faith, but not religious.
But you could understand like the authority that, a higher position has in such a structure of a church.
But you can say that about any Catholic priest.
Absolutely. 100%. And then, so there's new information about Micah Miller stating that she was groomed since she was 10 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
And from the pastor, John Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which again, I could kind of relate to because I grew up in a Christian background and I kind of saw it myself.
Okay.
And I've seen like youth pastors kind of favor middle school girls. And that's no joke. I mean, that's what happened. At the time, I didn't know what it meant, but later on, I brought my son to his new elementary school, and then I ran into my youth pastor, and he was married to the girl that he hung out with at pizza joints and bonfires who was in middle school when he was in his 30s. And so then it kind of like clicked, like, wow. So, and then I saw like the structure of in young adulthood of Christianity and churches, like the power that these leaders have. They
Okay.
really do have that power.
They do. Any leader, any religious leader does, though.
So I don't know. I just looked at that. I mean, there was something off. I don't know. That's why I never connected with religion because of all of that. It was off-putting to me. Most people look into scripture and how, is the spiritual aspect, but I was really looking at the politics and the social sort of activities that were going on, and it never sat well with me because that's just how I kind of looked at things differently. And so
Now, let me ask you though. You were asking me, what do I think should happen to him? My question
correct,
to you
because
is,
people are all up in arms right now against him,
are
and he
you
lawyered up, by the way, now, because that's
are
what
you asking me on a personal level or what I believe is going to happen?
How about
There's
both?
a difference.
Your thoughts on both?
What?
What do you think should happen to him versus what the reality is?
I think that he should be held responsible, and I think that he should be charged with a lot of things. One of them being grooming, another one being abuse, and one being psychological abuse, financial abuse, a lot of things. But that the reality is none of that is going to happen. He
Do
is
you
not going to get charged with any of those things because you can't. I mean, look at the Catholic Church to begin with. The Catholic Church has had more fucked up things happen. They groom guys all the time and nothing ever happens because there's no laws. There's laws if it's obvious, but it's very hard to prove grooming. And the fact that she married him, it's prove it. Okay, so
But her parents were okay with it because clearly they had to get the okay for, you know, just, okay, this is a pastor and blah, 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 and they're going to get married. And she was younger. And so they gave that okay.
Yeah, but
And,
maybe she just, it's very, all right. So what I'm trying to say is it would be very, very hard to prove that he was grooming her. It could just be that when she got old enough, he fell in love with her. And that happens too. And it doesn't necessarily mean there was grooming. She's saying there's grooming because everything fell apart. But she's also got a lot of mental illnesses, which we're going to get into later. But
do
she's
you
also
think
got a bunch of
because
mental
of him,
illnesses.
did he cause her to kill herself, basically? Do you feel that? I mean, I personally feel
I
like,
think he
yes,
contributed to it. I think he
I
contributed.
absolutely feel like there's a majority percentage that happened,
Yes.
because she talked about in her Facebook videos, and she only has like 6 or 7 videos that she put up. One of them was domestic violence. And she talked about how God would be very upset for divorce and he would be unhappy with that. And she expressed that, how, she wanted to go on missionaries to Africa and all this stuff. And she was thinking about her marriage, like really hyper focusing. So, like, I don't know. It's such, why do you think it's such a, because like people are, I don't know, the conspiracies are going to go wild. I mean, I could predict it already. They're going to say that this guy's going to be responsible for her death. And somewhat I agree with it to the domestic violence sort of angle. But how can you, it's really difficult to, like, this would be unprecedented to charge him for murder.
They can't. But then again, I said they couldn't charge that school shooter's parents either, and we see where they are. So
Well, they're in jail.
do you know what I mean? I
So
swore
is this
that
gonna
they
be
would
the
never get
next
charged.
step? Is this going to be a step up for domestic violence victims? Do you think? I mean, do you think maybe there's a chance here that it could change what's moving forward as far as domestic violence moving forward for women?
I would love to say yes, but I don't. I think that there may be too many outside factors that stop it. Like, for example, now that I think about this and I'm going through things in my head, I swore and I would have bet money that Gabby Petito's family would not be successful in filing a lawsuit against the Laundries. Well, I was wrong. Then I said, there's no fucking way in hell that they can charge the school shooter's parents. Well, I was wrong again. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not going to be groundbreaking, or that it's, you'd be wrong to think that way, because I've been wrong in 2 other landmark cases that I never thought were possible based on current laws. So do I think that it's going to set a precedent? No, I don't. But is it possible? Absolutely. Again, just thinking about Petito and thinking about,
Right.
I can't think of his name, the school shooter, and now this. But the thing that sticks in my mind is, these kind of situation is that it happens every day. Every day you get a domestic violence, Crumley, thank you. You get a domestic violence situation where a suicide will happen or a double murder will happen, and nothing's ever changed. So do I think something's going to change now? No, because I just think the courts don't understand that kind of narcissistic abuse. Now, Amber's right. A wrongful death suit could be brought up, possible.
Like a civil suit instead of a criminal.
Yes. Is that possible? Absolutely. Could they win? Probably not. Because I
possibly could, like the O.J. Simpson case where he won.
True.
Or the Goldbergs won.
But don't forget, we're talking about someone who's mentally ill, who's no longer alive. It's very easy to dispute someone that's a mental illness, especially when they're not here. So, going by what's been said, she had bipolar 2, she had schizophrenia, she also had dependent dissociative disorder or something. Basically, and I've seen a lot of people say, oh, they can't have those 3 things. Yes, they can. They can work together. And the last one just means that she depended on people. She was codependent. So to have that with schizophrenia and bipolar 2, you can absolutely, commingle those. So that's where I think fighting, going up against that proved that he did something on top of that. It goes back to, you can't blame someone else for someone else's mental illness. But if you understand narcissist, and we know you do, Morbid, but if you understand a narcissist,
what does that mean?
You know what I mean? But if you understand,
I don't know what you mean. Tell me. I like it.
Hold on. If you understand a narcissistic abuser of that level, which there aren't too many out there, that is a true malignant narcissist. And everything, on the surface, they seem like great guys. On the surface, they seem very loving and caring, and they got friends, and they got, but inside, they truly love to hurt people. And his manipulation of her, that is years in the making, to the outside world, they're not going to see that. And
2 decades, by the way, 20 years.
And it's going to be really, really hard, especially being that she's not here.
Well, and her parents were fine with it, which is
because she had illnesses. But on top of that, we don't know the things that he said to her parents. For example, my ex was a malignant narcissist, and he was great on the outside. People loved him.
which ex was
People
this?
thought he was Brad, the one that passed. The one that passed.
Commodity, so.
And he even called my mother when he was running a smear campaign on me. Called my mother
your mom
and made up this entire fucking story how I'm on drugs. And by the end of the conversation, my mom called me in tears. That's how convincing he was. So my point is, if me and my mom didn't have a close relationship, she would have believed him. He was trying to tell her that I needed to be committed and that he needed her approval and her signature to have me committed. And it was all a big fucking game. Thank God my mom knew, Mom, I'm not on drugs. I'm raising 3 kids. This is when they were little. And he was trying to have me committed so he could get a leg up in a custody fight. That level of hurt is exactly what this guy would have done and tried to do. So that's why I'm saying, like, you don't know what he said to the mom. You don't know what he has said to the parents to make the parents like, we understand she lost her life by her own doing, blah, blah, blah. He could have been
Christian parent, speaking from a Christianity background, when your daughter or your son is like, like courted by the pastor,
that's why the parents
position.
Believe it. That's why the parents.
Why would you even question that? You'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm on board. That's a pastor. Heck yeah.
And he was closer to the parents' age than hers. Remember that.
Correct. Yeah.
So the parents probably absolutely respected him, believed him. So if he went to them and said, look, Mom and Dad, she's, could have happened prior to all of this going down. He could have been speaking to them behind their backs. He could have been telling them that, I'm really worried for her. We have no idea what he told them behind the scenes. If there ever is a trial, we'll find out, but we have no idea what's been said behind the scenes. And I'm sure 100% that he went to them and laid a whole bunch of bullshit on them.
So do you think that it will be there's no precedent that's going to be set here, because it's very difficult to charge someone for
I hope there is
all this other stuff. And,
I hope there is. I just don't see it happening. History repeats itself, and history tells me that it's just going to be another case that the courts don't understand. It's going to be another fucking case that the law doesn't have laws for, and it's going to go down as she committed suicide, and it is what it is.
And it's not deny. I mean, you can't deny the fact that she committed suicide because you have the location.
I know.
I could make a video of this, of where John Paul Miller was, and he wasn't even near that area. And they have him on camera with his car and all that,
Yeah, no, she called.
So,
I mean,
she called 911.
Yep.
Prior, and then shot herself right after. She just wanted her parents to know where to find the body.
Yep. I don't know why she didn't call her parents, but
she probably was very dear to her, like her family, and wanted them to make sure that they found her body, that they weren't going to be worried about that. It's very odd because I edited the 911 call, and very disturbing.
I agree.
She was very
articulate,
straightforward. Hey, I'm going to kill myself.
Yep.
So I just want my loved ones to know where my body's going to be, my location.
Which is also why I don't think he was standing behind her, and that was what I thought originally. Was
he was there?
Yeah, was he forcing her to do it? Did he say, you know, like, granted, I watch a lot of Lifetime movies, but
Mhm.
did he, you know, have the gun in her hand and he had a glove holding her hand, you know, like, I had all
No,
these
no, you
scenarios.
know that's in there. Yeah,
I
but
know, but
I
I'm
see where
saying
you're coming from.
all these different scenarios that he was telling her, "You must do it for God, do it for
He
whatever," you
wasn't
know,
even
like,
in the state, I don't think, in the same state,
but that's what I'm saying,
honestly.
like, at first, that's what I kept thinking. I kept thinking, like, he must have been there. He had to force her, like, no one does this, and then when I heard the call, I was like, "You know what? She did this all on her own." He was not there. He was not standing behind her. He was not egging her on. Now, could it have been on the phone? Yes, but he wasn't egging her on.
I don't even think that happened because
I
there's
know.
no proof of him on the phone with her.
I know.
Um, you know how that cheerleader who got her boyfriend to die in the car?
Yep, I was just thinking the exact same case.
Yeah, that's a different scenario. She's like, "Yeah, kill yourself," blah blah blah, and that's why she got prosecuted. But there's nothing like that, that happened in this case
I
specific.
agree. But we didn't know that at first. That's what I was saying. I didn't know that. Like, that was
Right, you're trying to figure out what happened.
thinking about.
Yeah, and
And
he was nowhere near that scene. He's actually caught on CCTV cam, um, driving his car in a different state, to be honest, or a different area of, when she killed herself. And so, and we see the footage of her buying the ammunition and the actual gun at the pawn shop. So it is a suicide. It's just, do we charge him for, something that you're going to backtrack and say, well, we can see that he's a narcissist and he sociopath or whatever. He brainwashed her into getting her to this position to kill herself. I guarantee you he had fault in that. But how can he prove that? And what kind of sentence can he put on there
see,
for him?
come to think of it, though, thinking about what I spoke to Amber about, when I'll tell you where he should be charged. If, like, all right, so he was seeing someone else. She wanted a divorce. They were on the outs. Because I know this happened to me, if he called her 30, 40 times a day and he knew that she wanted out and he kept calling her and manipulating her and telling her, let's get back together, I love you, even though he's with someone else, if that happened and that's why she killed herself, then yes, I think he should be held responsible. But I don't think that the courts or the police understand that, and understand without the actual context. Let's say he called her 30 times a day. He can easily say, well, I called her because I wanted to tell her how much I loved her and work it out with her. If there's no actual voice recordings, there's no way to prove otherwise. But
Yeah, and there's nothing of that nature from what
no,
I know. And so,
but we don't know, because it wouldn't be, if a husband calls a wife 10, 15 times a day and they're splitting up, it's not that abnormal. Like, they want to work it out. If you ask the reverend, which I'm going to get to all this, but if you ask his reverend, they were on good
that's right.
terms and they were trying to work it out. Well, if they were trying to work it out, why did he have another girlfriend? So,
And not only did he have a girlfriend, because there's other videos that have been circulating where John Paul Miller, pastor, um, has been hitting on waitresses in his local area. And that's on Twitter X. And I have the video link. If you want that, I'll send it to you. And he puts his phone number on a receipt to have this young lady call. And she looked into it and she's like, oh my God, your wife died. So she talks about that on TikTok, I believe, but it was posted on Twitter. So
wait, what's the video?
You want to see that video?
Yeah, put it in back chat.
All right. It's crazy because not many people have seen this, but and then you see the receipts on it. Hold on one second. Let me put it in back chat. If you want to play it, you can.
Yeah,
This
I do.
is what Heels in the Air, by the way, sent me. There it is, right there.
Oh, hold on.
And she sent me this Monday. Heels in the Air.
I
Do you
can't
want
believe
to
fast.
say anything about heels, or have you? I don't even know.
I did. I made a community post.
Isn't that sad? It's just terrible.
Heels did not like me at all. We were not
Yeah,
friends.
I know.
But I do have friends that were friends with her.
But she didn't hate you, Laura.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't hate you.
Yes, she did.
I know for a fact.
Either
She
way.
didn't hate you. She had other people on her hate list. You weren't on that list. So I'm just telling you, maybe she didn't like you, but she didn't hate you.
Now, with this video, though, I read the comment, and my question is, oh, she's not the waitress. I thought she was the waitress. And I was like, okay.
I'll play it, and then you'll see, because she presents the receipts on.
Okay. Hold on.
And then y'all could follow her if you want and find out information.
There's something that's been on my mind and on my heart for a few days, but really it goes back a few months to February when this guy came into the restaurant where I've been working and left his phone number on his receipt. To make a long story short,
So you saw the receipt,
picked him
right?
up and he.
Okay. Why would she have a receipt from February?
I know,
That's
but
my first
you
question.
see the receipt, though.
Yeah, but why?
February 2024.
Yeah, but that could be anybody. She could have made that up. I mean, I find it odd that she could all of a sudden find a receipt from February. That's a little strange to me. We're in May. All right, Amber's telling me
I
keep
understand, but she died in April 27th.
True. I'm
So,
just very skeptical.
February, March, April.
Hey, Kaz, I'm just very skeptical.
And this is just one woman.
All right. Hold on.
And we saw the pictures of J.P. Miller with another mistress.
All right. Amber told me keep listening, so I'm going to keep listening. All right, hold on.
Keep going.
He was the senior pastor of a local church, and I thought, let's see what he's about. So I texted him, and he pretty much immediately just started begging for nudes. He also said that he was going through a divorce because his soon-to-be ex-wife was bipolar and schizophrenic. I did a little more digging, found some unsavory information about this guy, and while the smart thing to do would probably be just stay away, there's nothing I hate more than somebody who uses God and a position of authority to abuse and mislead and manipulate people. So my thought was, can we expose this guy? But the more digging I did, I just found that his church apparently has a history of covering up his behavior, and anyone who speaks out gets stalked and harassed. There wasn't any contact info anywhere for his wife or anyone. So it just seemed like I couldn't do anything at that point. But I think I sensed that there was something more off with the situation. And I checked in on social media a few days ago and discovered that his wife has died. They're calling it suicide, but an investigation has been opened, and there's a lot of speculation that he was responsible. I don't know, but whether or not he pulled that trigger, he pushed her beyond her limit. And I want to say that John Paul Miller and people like him are not the problem with modern day Christianity in America. They are a symptom. The bigger problem is those of you who are enabling and defending people like this and putting them in positions of authority in churches and our government. And now a stunningly beautiful woman is dead. Her name was Mica, and I've heard that she was a lovely person. And I just feel like now I have a responsibility to speak up. And I hope that we can prevent more abuse from taking place.
So there it is. What do you think?
I think she looks young.
Doesn't she look like Micah? I mean, let's be honest.
Not really.
Very similar. I think you could email her and get a interview with her, because nobody knows. This is the last email that I received from Heels, and she's like, "You got to look into this girl." And
did she ever post more stuff? I see that was posted on the 6th.
I'm not sure if she did. I haven't followed that, but I know that it's something that hasn't been out there. And so, hell, if you want to interview, because I'm not going to interview her, but if you want, I mean, reach out to her, because the story is like spot on. I mean, you heard it from her.
Someone just said, Nikki something said, I would urge caution with believing every person that puts out a video like this. Moments of fame and people jump in. It's sick, and we're seeing the scams everywhere. I have no idea if the waitress has a legit story or not, but everything she said and showed could have easily been fabricated after the fact. I pray for justice from Mica. I've shared her story for the past 5 days, and every other victim of this web of evil and that the Miller family spun. And I agree with that. Like, there's
I mean,
so many.
but we did confirm her location, and she is in that area, and she does work for that restaurant, and so that receipt that she showed with John Paul Miller's signature and his credit card. So News Nation already gave interview. See?
Oh, did I?
There it is. From your own chat, they were saying. I didn't know News Nation was on top of that, but
is this up?
Because Heels emailed me Monday about this, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know that there's other moving parts to the story.
Hold on.
I don't know. I mean, News Nation, did they interview? I don't know if there's a video on that. That'd be interesting, though.
Do you see this video? And I had not seen this one before, but it's interesting because before I even knew much about the case, we were saying in Patreon that I wonder if he had like pictures of her that would embarrass her, and that's why she did it. And sure enough,
extortion or something you're talking about.
And that's what News Nation found this video, and they were fighting in a gas station. And hold on,
no, I haven't seen this one. I've seen other videos on him.
Yeah, threatening to post what is believed to be indecent images of Micah on Facebook just weeks before she killed herself. New video obtained by News Nation shows Micah at a tire shop after her tires had been slashed.
Which is true, because I covered that in the documentary, and she talked about it. Actually, one of her family members talked about her with the tire slashing, and it came from the pastor, JP.
So I may have been right. It may be that's what this. Yeah, I hadn't seen this either.
Blame.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
So that's her talking to JP.
Yep, that's her talking to JP. And this was a few weeks prior. And that was, I said that to Amber and a couple of other Patreons. I said, let me tell you, I would not surprise me if he has some crazy fucking pictures of her or something that would cause her to go over the edge.
I've got another video for you that comes from JP. Hold on one second. Let me see. I'm going to have to hold on. And this is something else. And I'm going to put it in back chat for you. It's a TikTok video.
Okay, it was a month.
JP.
It was a month before a death.
Hold on one second. Let me put that in the back chat. So this is JP talking to his wife. And let me see what you think about it. I'm not going to give you any more information about that. So you watch it and see what you think.
Hold on.
So yeah. And that was something sent to me today. And there's other videos that keep coming out about this couple. So I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more videos coming out. But this is one that came out today.
All right.
Stop. Calm down, Micah. Stop. Stop. I don't have your purse. Stop. You don't have my purse? Nope. Stop, Micah. Please. Stop, Micah. Stop. Stop. I don't have your purse.
So they're clearly that's Micah and JP. So I don't know what you make of that video that was sent to me today. And there's some other videos that are coming in, but what do you think about that you saw? Any feelings on that? Laura, you're muted on your own stream. She's taking a piss. She's pitching right now. All right, so I'm going to entertain the chat until Laura comes back from her pee break. What happened? You know what happened? We'll just wait for Laura to come back here. Let's see here. I want to see if I could bring up anything else. You know what troubles me is on her Facebook. This is Micah Miller's Facebook. Man, she moved on from her separation from Pastor John Paul Miller, and then she found a new pastor, and then they're at a restaurant. It's weird, man. Fellowship, whatever you want to call it. It's just bizarre when you see just these women just like clamoring towards pastors for some reason. They got that power. So I don't know. I just found that interesting, and that's on her Facebook. And they haven't changed anything on her Facebook. And she's got quite a few videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She got about 5 or 6 videos where she talks about certain things, which is interesting because I know people haven't seen it. I did include it in my documentary, however, but I just feel bad for her and her family. And I know, like she's been groomed since she was 10. That says so much. And then it's like, where do you get justice? So initially I was like, what with justice for Micah? There's these protests. And I was like, what's the justice for? Where do you want to get this justice? And how are you going to get it? And then I quickly realized, oh, okay, well,
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on mute. All right, I'm going to show you.
You're on mute the entire time.
I'm going to show you something. This is pretty fucking interesting. It took me a minute to figure out what the hell she was showing.
But what were you thinking about on that last video we saw? The Twitter, I mean. Somebody sent that to me for today because they said, "Wow, we found this today." So
It could be
thoughts about that?
anything. It depends who, hey Allie, it depends who was recording it. Because if
Right.
he was recording it, then
Well, he was recording it,
setup.
so
Yeah, it was a
I
big
mean, it
setup.
toxic relationship nonetheless, just like 10-11 says. But I mean, you can't really distinguish what is happening there. It's such a short video. But what were you going to bring up, Laura?
All right, hold on. Tell me what you think of this. And
Sure.
I'm going to let it run a couple of times. There's no sound or anything, but I'm going to let it run a couple of times because you might need a couple of views to figure out what she's showing. Check this out.
Okay.
Now, this was an interview that he did after her death.
Local news station ABC 15.
Yep.
Notice anything? So I guess they're looking at the necklace or something.
Correct. They had, hold on, what did I do? It's her necklace. He's wearing it.
Ah, okay, I see that.
Why is he wearing her necklace?
When was that picture taken of a pastor right there?
During the interview, I guess.
After the death.
After her death. Because at first I thought to myself, okay, maybe they just had matching necklaces. They were husband and wife. Maybe that's, maybe they just had matching necklaces. But no, this happened after the fact.
And I can't help but notice it says Natasha Cooper at the right.
I know. Believe me, I know. But forget that part.
No, forget that part. It is very important, but like, what does that mean, though? Like,
why would he have a necklace?
But what does that suggest?
Why would he should have given it to the family?
I mean, like, let's say if you're in love and you're married, you might have matching necklaces. I don't think it proves anything.
Oh, I think it's creepy as hell. Typical abuser.
It's creepy?
Oh. Give it to a family. Why would he have it?
Billy Bob Thornton, you know him, the actor, right? And then he had Angelina Jolie, and he had her blood in a vial around his neck. And you're saying this is creepy versus that?
But that's different.
I don't know. They're having matching necklaces, possibly. So
no, I think that's fucking creepy as hell. Typical abuser.
Oh, so the control from him, you're saying, on his part.
Yeah, like give that to a family.
Okay, so I could see that. Because it's undisputable she killed herself.
I agree.
Self-inflicted wound. She shot herself. This is from the autopsy reports and medical examiners, and so there's no dispute, and he was not even in the area. He was caught on CCTV in a different area, so there's no issue there. The problem is, though, was he the cause of her death somehow, some way? And if he is, how many years should he be prosecuted? And should this set a precedent moving forward for domestic violence?
It should, but it won't. And that's the problem. Hey, Mac, it should, but it won't.
But isn't it a difficult thing to prosecute, though? Psychological domestic violence, right? Or manipulation, psychopathy, and narcissism. Like, again, we're walking on eggshells, and I mean, I understand the situation. I understand why people are upset, that they want justice for Mica. But I don't know if I could even get to that point where well, we're just going to charge the pastor for how long? And then you look at Gypsy Rose, who did 10 years, and now she's out, and she's a celebrity now, so on. And then you have Nicholas Godejohn, you know, her counterpart part that she manipulated.
He should not be in jail. Absolutely, he should not be in jail.
With all of his psychological issues.
Exactly. And
he was manipulated.
I'm not going to get into that whole case because there's so much on this case I got to get to, which I'm going to get to now.
But then you can kind of cross-examine sort of this, you know, like, okay, you could compare that case to this case, and you're like, okay, you see some of the differences in why.
Hold on. That case is nothing like this case, in the sense that I am one of the few that firmly believe that that mother got exactly what the fuck she deserved. What she did to Gypsy's entire life is beyond words. It is beyond fucking disgusting. And I'm sorry, but anybody that abuses a child in that capacity, you're no better than the dude, you know, putting his kid on the treadmill. You're no better than a lot of people that abuse their children. And therefore, that mother got exactly what the fuck she deserved. So
yeah, I don't give a shit about the mom.
I don't have any sympathy for her. I
have sympathy for Nicholas Godejohn.
I have a lot of sympathy for him.
Did you see the interrogation video? I'm sure a lot of people have.
Yes. He should have never gotten life.
And how upfront he was about the situation. And then you saw the manipulation on the interrogation of Gypsy Rose, where she's like, oh, what? You know, I don't know what's happening. You know, the manipulation was there. It's like she got it from her own mother.
Yep.
And she put it on Nicholas. And he has to serve life in prison.
Yep.
And she's out free now. And she's a celebrity. And she's gotten, you know, like whatever facial reconstruction done and so on and so forth, as you all know, nose jobs and blah, blah, blah.
That's why I don't talk about the case, though, because I do believe she should be out, but I do believe he should be out as well.
Man,
I don't believe
you should talk about this case because, you know, it's
too many people think the other way, though. Too many people believe that she's a piece of shit, which she is, but she's a piece of shit and she, you know, she should be in jail and she's a murderer and it's just not worth fighting.
Like, I don't feel like she's a piece of shit, but she's definitely a manipulator. And she definitely.
Why wouldn't she be? That's all she knew. You can, you know, imagine you grow up and your mom and your dad teach you right from wrong. Imagine if they only taught you wrong. Your whole life has been one big lie and one big manipulation head fuck. How do you think you're going to turn out? Do you think you're not going to turn out to be just like you were raised? Of course you are. She was raised that way. She was raised to manipulate. She was raised to scam people and be an opportunist. Like, that's how she was raised. You can't expect somebody that's raised like that to turn out, hey, I think I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to do everything by the book and I'm going to do everything right. It's never going to happen.
I just think the way she exercised freedom after she was released and had zero empathy for Nicholas Godejohn and what she has done to him. Literally manipulated this boy when he would not be a murderer if he'd have the guidance of this love quarrel or whatever, this love fest that they had. Yeah, it's I don't know. And then I guess that's why she's getting the heat. Like, I'm okay with her being released into the public, but it sucks for Nicholas because.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's where the justice didn't come through, you know, because he's serving life in prison and she's out now and she's literally being a freaking celebrity.
And I
And
agree with you, but it's also very, very, she didn't pull the trigger and he did. And you can say that she manipulated him, but it goes back to there's no current laws about manipulating someone unless it's blatantly obvious. And that's why he is sitting in jail for life, because she didn't make him pull the trigger. She didn't tell him that if you don't pull the trigger, I'm going to kill you. And because of that, it's very easy for him to, for the courts to say, hey, she didn't pull the trigger. She didn't threaten his life to pull the trigger. She didn't tell him that he would die if he didn't pull the trigger. So he technically did this on his own. All the other factors, they're not taking into consideration because the current laws don't back that. The current laws don't back that mentality. The current laws don't have anything about manipulation unless you are killing someone, unless I have you tied up in the back and say, if you don't pull that trigger, I'm going to kill you. That's the only way manipulation is in the law. Other than that, it's not in the law. That's why Nick's in jail and she's out.
which brings us back full circle to this case of Micah Miller and John Paul Miller. And should he be charged or shouldn't he? And most people, the consensus is he's not going to be. The reality is this: oh yeah, he's a dirtbag. He was unfaithful, et cetera, et cetera. But are the churches going to stand up and do something about it? That's the real question. Are they going to say, we're not going to give authority anymore to these type of individuals because there are many of them that will take that position of hierarchy and manipulate young individuals?
No.
And
They're
isn't that
not.
sad? I know this for a fact because I grew up in a Christian family, Baptist and Presbyterian.
He's going to go to another church.
Well, he's going to be accepted to another church.
Exactly.
As long as you have faith and know the scripture, you're always going to be accepted into the church. Period. End of story. There's some politics.
He's friendly. He's outgoing. He's good looking. He's presents himself well. It's so easy for him to, Conrad Hubox.
But he's still with his church now. He's just taking a little leave of absence for his turmoil.
No, his church let him go.
Oh, is that what happened now?
Yeah, his church let him go.
Well, he's going to be with another church very quickly. That's going to happen.
Oh, Box, we were talking about that before, but that was proof. That was a different kind of manipulation. She went to jail because there was actual proof that she was basically saying, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it for you. That's totally different than this kind of manipulation. This kind of manipulation is not as blatantly obvious. It's much more secluded behind the scenes.
And I'm sure Solid Rock Church let him go because of the pressure from media and also the public because of the protests that have been going on. So how could they bring him back? They can't. So it's all politics. So he's going to move on to something else, and there will be a church that will accept him.
But he can also technically sue, because he didn't commit her murder. It's
well, he lawyered up already as of yesterday.
I would have too.
For defamation, slander, blah blah blah. We get it. So yes, he's not.
Yeah, I totally would have
for the death. He didn't kill her, as people are trying to label him as. But the standard is, should he be prosecuted for the mental sort of is there mental murder? Is that, is there mental, emotional murder that you can prove in a court of law at this point? No, but I don't know. Is this going to change everything or not? I don't have faith in that. It's really difficult.
All right. Let me get in. There's a lot I still want to discuss. So on May 4th, John Paul Miller and his spiritual advisor, Reverend Charles Randall, did an interview with the Christian Post. And here's some of the things that were said. And I want you guys to tell me what you think.
I haven't seen it.
John Paul Miller admits
Interesting.
that he and Mica had an affair with each other. He says her and Mica were married in 2017, shortly after she underwent surgery for an undisclosed reason and an undisclosed with bipolar 2, schizophrenia, and dependent personality disorder. And now a lot of people are saying that you can't have all three. I've seen people say, I've been a therapist for 25 years and you can't have all three. You can. I looked it up. You absolutely can.
It's bipolar, schizophrenia, and what was the other one?
Bipolar 2, which bipolar 2 just
Bipolar
means,
2.
yeah, bipolar 2 just means that it's like low grade manic episodes and they don't interfere with everyday life or chores or work or anything. Symptoms can include elevated mood, depression, euphoria, crankiness, exaggerated self-confidence. So if you take that and then you combine it with schizophrenia, well, what's schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is what's my schizophrenia diagnosis? But schizophrenia is more episodes, more manic episodes, and schizophrenia
More serious of a condition, I know.
And bipolar overlap considerably in terms of symptoms, familiar patterns, risk genes, outcome, and treatment response. So to say that those two can't coexist together is an absolute
Or
fault.
3, you said. Bipolar 2, bipolar, and then schizophrenia.
Yeah, no, bipolar 2, schizophrenia, and dependent personality disorder. All that means is that someone is clingy. That's it.
EPD.
That's all it
Gotcha.
means. So the fact that somebody is clingy, there's no reason they can't have schizophrenia and bipolar together at the same thing.
And this is something that she was medically sort of
Allegedly, yes.
Allegedly. Okay. Gotcha.
Now, since 2017, Pastor Miller, they've been trying to manage his wife's mental illness with lithium and significant support. As long as she took her medicine, Pastor Miller said his wife would be fine. Now, you can say that about anybody with schizophrenia or bipolar. The thing that I'm leaning with the bipolar is it's not like regular bipolar. It's bipolar 2, which means it doesn't really interfere with your life. So to have schizophrenia and bipolar, to me, it's not that big of a deal to have both. Like you can easily have both.
Was she not taking medication?
That I don't know.
Okay.
But
because that sounds heavy duty, especially with those 3 diagnoses, to not take medication. Again, Christians are very against medication, like mental, like psychological or psych medication. So she was not on medication. Someone says in the chat, I don't know. I can't confirm that.
It's called schizoaffective disorder, not according to this interview. On the interview is schizophrenic and dependent personality and bipolar 2. I don't know what schizoaffective is.
Play the video that you're talking about.
Hold on, I will.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
So,
sure. It's interesting. I thought she was on her medication or not, but I know Christians.
Oh, hold on.
They dismiss the mental.
Schizoaffective disorder is a bipolar type, but it's a very rare mental health condition that occurs when someone experiences manic episodes and symptoms of schizophrenia, such as delusions and hallucinations. Other symptoms include racing thoughts, increased risky behavior, feelings of euphoria and irritability, followed by low energy and sadness. Sounds like me. No. So, I don't know, this episodes of mania, extreme highs, and sometimes major depression, severe lows. That's just sounds like bipolar.
Yeah, that's something I'd be curious about, is if she was on top of her medication, her psych meds, or she was totally against it and decided not to take it. Because that's a huge thing. I know mental disorders, like, you have to take these medications. Medications do help. And especially if you're diagnosed with these serious type of illnesses mentally, you
I
can't
agree.
like pray that away as much as you want to. You can't.
Box,
So
I said the same thing. That how do we know that she really had the conditions? And Amber was explaining to me, and a couple of other people explained to me that it goes way back even before him, like with her first husband. So it wasn't really from him per se. But let me finish. There's a lot to go through, especially if you guys want to watch the video. So some of the quotes that came out, I took care of her through every time she went to the mental institution. I took care of her every time she stopped taking her lithium. I would never expose this stuff of her if I didn't have to now. But every time she tried to kill herself, I would be there. I would literally sometimes pick her up physically, put her in the truck, and took her to the hospital. Nobody believed me when I told them that she was having a psychotic break. She would have never left. She would have never done what she did. They would have believed me. I have 48 text messages that I sent out saying she needs her lithium. Somebody help me, please. And no one believed me. Everybody thought I was a demon for trying to make her to probate court to get her to put in a hospital. I told her family, I have text messages over and over. I told her family she needs her medicine. They told me I'm crazy. She doesn't need any medicines. I text messaged her, but they sent her saying it makes you fat or makes you slur, or you shouldn't take your meds, or you should just do something holistic. You don't need what the doctors say. She'd say, I want to go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And after that, I'm going to learn how to fly. So, when you read this, it makes you think, you know what? He might be telling the truth. This all very well might be telling the truth. The problem is that he's such a malignant narcissist that it doesn't even matter if he's telling the truth. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
mean, he's got issues and he's got problems, and he abused her.
Exactly.
Domestic violence.
Mhm.
There's no dispute in that. But her refusing her mental medication is a huge thing, because I'm going to tell you, I take, psychiatric sort of medication, and I have for quite some time for general anxiety disorder.
Mhm.
And I know the difference between taking it and not. Like, I know that I was stubborn at certain points, and I said, I ain't going to take this. But it really, like, changes everything. The chemistry of your brain and how you function. So that's a little bit disturbing to hear that she was off her meds. But a lot of Christians do that. I mean, I'm not surprised, because they believe in Jesus and they believe in faith that prayer is going to work, uh, demons and stuff, getting rid of that, et cetera, et cetera. But and I'm not trying to dismiss JP's domestic violence, because clearly we've seen that behavior, and sort of the combination is explosive, is all I'm saying, of her not taking her meds and then him being who he is.
Okay, so the article, it's just an article. It's not a video.
Okay.
But hold on. He was also with his reverend, his spiritual advisor, and some of his quotes. I'm going to read now, which is really weird. But basically, what the quotes that Reverend Charles Randall said, basically, social media is very wicked in saying things and lying about the situation, things that they are not aware of. I live by the Holy Spirit of God. If God would lead me to remove him, I will do that. It has not happened at this time. As far as abuse, they are lying about that. There was no abuse. As far as working with him, I've been working closely with them since last September on their marriage. They did have a little bump in the road, no abuse, and he was working on that. The marriage was in the process of being restored. He was very tore up when we got the news. I was with him on Saturday night when he received the news. Very, 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 very tore up over it because he loved his wife very much. If the naysayers would tell the truth, they would know how much he did and tried to please his wife. The same people that are lying and saying he mistreated his wife, even the family members, he offered to pay for every family member to travel from wherever they are, wherever they live, to bring them here, pay for their accommodations, and take care of them to honor his wife during this time. They are all in the streets, some of them, I believe, lying about what he's doing. Micah Miller committed suicide on Saturday, April 27th, according to police. Pastor John Paul Miller of Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, was with another woman the day he died. Police say he's allegedly romantically involved with this other woman. And
Which I know it's sleazy, but that's not anything to persecute him on.
have you seen the video when he announced it to the church?
Yep, I have it in the documentary. You want to play that? I haven't heard it for a while. If you need that video, I can get it for you.
No, I haven't.
Okay. And I don't know if people know that they have an actual YouTube channel.
Yeah, did you see all his sermons?
Not all of them, but I was surprised that he actually they didn't block the comment section. And then I start reading the comment section and people are ripping into it.
But just some of the strangest kind of sermons I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's called Solid Rock. That's the YouTube channel. I'm going to put in my chat real quick.
Hold on. I'm gonna.
It's interesting because, you know, you hear the story of what happened and then you see him. It's bizarre, to say the least. But they did delete. I think the recent videos that they put out was only like 2 weeks. But I think one of the videos was the video where he announced his wife's death. So the one that you're showing right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, his sermons are appalling, Box. They're whacked. I was like, I've never, and I've been to a lot of different religious sermons. I've never heard anything like this. But
I didn't listen to it, but
I haven't heard this yet. So hang on.
We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can. So y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next, little bit. 'Cause I don't want to I'm taking a little bit of a break and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And yeah, it was self-induced and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally. and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her.
Weird.
And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come, but just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, Bishop, he can pray. I'll give him a microphone, he'll pray out. And if you have anything you want to share as well, I appreciate it.
Come on, let's pray.
What do I think of that? I think that was ridiculous.
It was very bizarre.
There was no emotion in it. It was fake emotion. And I don't know. That was weird. That was just bizarre.
It's just that, and it's at the end of his sermon, and it's almost nonchalant. Like, okay, you know, my wife is going through mental illness, and she's not taking medication. So I just want y'all to know, you know, she's cray.
I don't
killed herself. News.
I just don't feel like he gave her any dignity. He just didn't give her any dignity and you know, she did it or said they didn't need to know those details. That you could have just said, my wife passed. Out of respect for her, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. Like, you know, the neighborhood would have told what happened. You know what I mean? Like that would have, you know, gossip would have happened anyway. They didn't need to go this route.
But then people will say, well, you know, how can you blame him? You know, because he was trying to get a divorce, and it goes back since early 2023, I think October, when they filed for separation, etc. And, you know, people are looking at that like, I don't know. It's just, it's really difficult. You know, I wish he could be prosecuted for that, but then you open up a bag of worms or something that you just don't want to get into, knowing true crime, because then, you know, it's already all fucked up, you know. And when you start like prosecuting folks for narcissism and, you know, taking them to trial for, are they sociopaths? Did they manipulate this individual emotionally? Then you're fucked, honestly. So I see that point of view. I think he's distasteful in the way that he handled it, but he's a dick. I don't know. Can you blame him? He wasn't there. He didn't commit the crime. That's for sure. It's not like he's Chris Watts and he annihilated his entire family.
What
but
was
he's a douchebag.
What was the name of the church?
The name of the church?
Yeah.
Solid Rock. And they have a YouTube channel. It's like 1,800 subscribers.
Okay, so that was on there.
They don't have a whole lot of videos on there, but he's on the most of them. Actually, they have quite a few videos of him. And they have videos of her leading praise.
I was just going to say, isn't that her?
Yeah, 4 months ago, she was leading praise. There's videos on Facebook where there's one video where she's leading praise, but she led praise 3 months ago, it looks like. Let me see here. You can see her in the photographs. So she was like a singer and, you know, a worship leader. So her last video was on, let me see here, I'll give you a date. 3 months ago, this was dated, so 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's the one I have pulled up.
Yeah, it's called Praise You Anywhere. Yes, He Can.
Oh, no, I have Don't Let the Sun parody.
Oh, this was February 8th, 2024. I don't know which one you're on, but you can see her.
This one's January 23rd, 2024.
Okay, so yeah, that's the next one of, you know, like, yeah, that's one of them. I see that one too.
Hold on, let me play this.
You want her Facebook? It's interesting if you go through her videos. It's very bizarre. I'm going to give it to you in the back chat.
All right.
her Facebook video profile. She only has like 5 videos, but she talks.
The parody where we take a secular song and rewrite it for Jesus, and today is a Elton John song for you today.
Elton John. Okay, so in back chat, I actually gave you the Facebook videos that she put up.
No more of this.
And those are actually pretty good. No one's seen it. Not many people have seen it.
All my memories seem to be in black and white.
Honestly, she looks mad and worn down.
I don't know, but go ahead and check out her Facebook, because I put it back there, and it's still public because the family is proud that they're just going to leave it public so that people can see the real.
But I mean, am I crazy? Like, doesn't she look worn
At
down?
this point,
and
yeah.
mad?
I mean, I could see.
Hold on.
I can't compare it to what she was prior, but I don't know. I mean, I can't really put a judgment on her here.
And Elton John in church? I don't know. That seems weird too.
Yeah, they do that these days.
I-
Contemporary
I know.
Christianity, they do that stuff. Secular music. And
Actually,
I've done it.
I actually love this. I love this song by Elton John, so bear with me.
I used to play Green Day, Time of Your Life, back in the day for my Christian.
I'm growing tired. Time stands still for no man. Frozen on the ladder of my life. Never too late. Save myself from falling.
And that's actually a pretty big church from my experience.
I'll take a chance.
Not a huge church, but big enough to get a good 6-figure income from the offerings and tithes.
But don't misread scriptures that I read you. Close the door. Thank God I finally see the light. Don't let this sun go down on me. 'Cause when I search myself, there's always someone else I see. I just want the fragrance of your love. Set me free. Oh, forgiving everything before the sun goes down on me.
So, Laura, if you see in the back check the Facebook video, I think I put the link back there.
I don't know. I just feel like she was worn the fuck down.
So I'm telling you, there's 2 videos that are significant to this case. And try going to that link and see if you can see those videos.
Hold on.
Because nobody has looked into this, and I put it on the documentary thing. But these 2 are significant. There's one where she talks about the domestic violence and the abuse that she has received.
No, I've seen that.
Okay, so that's the one where she has a hat on, and it's
Which
2
video?
minutes and 50 seconds. Do you see that?
2
minutes 50 seconds. It's the 4th video.
I got it.
So this is where she talks about domestic violence and how it's affected her life. And then there's another video where she's like, her last video.
All right, hold
There
on.
it is. There it is. There it is.
Hold on.
So today my heart's a little heavy. I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately and reminded me, because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs or alcohol abuse or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first. And even an earthly spouse who's a good spouse, when they know that their bride is being hurt, just imagine what an earthly spouse does. What do you think your heavenly spouse does when you're the bride of Christ and he sees his bride going through abuse and hurt? What do you think he thinks about that? So, encouragement in all this is, you are the bride of Christ first before anybody else's. And he's got you. And he sees you. And he loves you.
I got mixed feelings about it.
Yeah. So that was her message about domestic violence. And there are some other videos on there. The last one is the one that's at the very bottom, 3 minutes, 34 seconds. And that's when she says she's still alive and well. That's the last video she recorded. So what are your thoughts about this, though, where she is talking about, because this is a significant video that she put out. And again, she only has like 5 videos out where she talks about certain things.
All right, hold on. I want to watch this one.
Okay. This is the last video she recorded.
Everybody, I just want to let you know that I'm alive and well, and life's been kind of crazy the couple past weeks, months, years, but I've kind of had to keep my circle really small for the past couple weeks, just because I'm going through a lot and it's hard, and it's my cross to bear. It's the thing that God has put in my life to deal with, and I don't want to bring a lot of people into it. I'm so thankful to God for a strong family and the friends that God has put in my life to be there for me at this time. I just wanted to share that my heart and my prayer is that the church would stay strong, that y'all would stick together, because the church is God's people, It's not a man, it's not a person, it's not me, it's God's people, the bride of Christ. And it's a lot of really good people in the church that that I just hope would continue on, press toward the calling, run your race, stay encouraged, stay in your word, keep worshiping. Like I can't wait to worship again with everybody. But for now, I'm just worshiping with me and Jesus to God. And I don't think God would be pleased with me if I just jumped right into missions and women's events and creative directing and worship leading and stuff. I think when your world is shook up, you need to take a pause. And I can only pray that more people will take a pause and I'm trying to get my priorities straight right now. And that's making sure that my heart doesn't have any unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, just forgiveness and hope for the future and peace. Because you can't put a price on peace from God. So thank you for all your prayers and support. Know that I have to keep my circle really, really small right now. I'm used to having a really big circle, so it's hard because I want to reach out to everybody and tell you how much I love you and I miss you. But this is the best way that I know how. So I love you all. I miss you. Thank you for your love and support over the last couple years. And some of you, up to 18 years walking with me as my friends. And for right now, I've just had to put everything on pause to get myself right. And I think God's happy with that. So keep praying for me. Thank you. And I love you. I'll be praying for you. God bless you. Bye.
Okay. My honest opinion on this.
And by the way, just
she
a
knew
fact,
what she was going to
this
do.
was less than 2 months ago before she took her life.
She knew what she was doing. I could see it in her face. She was telling people about the church, stay with the church, stay with the church, stay with the church. And, I got to keep my circle small. She definitely, this is when it started in her head. She had made up her mind. I also took this as a goodbye video, asking the see, sweet one, you took it the same way I did. She isolated herself or he isolated her. But I definitely believe in my heart of hearts that she knew what she was doing. She had her mind made up and she was trying maybe to talk herself out of it. Maybe like, I don't really want to do this because that's where that's where I'm like, if you're so religious, you're certainly not going to take your own life. But when she said looking for peace, that made me think absolutely she knew what she was doing and she couldn't escape. And that was my original thought before I even knew anything about the case. That was my original thought.
Again, this is 2 months shy.
Yep.
Couple days shy of her taking her own life on April 27th. So that's the video that we just saw right now. That was the last video that she put out there. So you think there was a message that she sent out, or maybe she was confused, or because when I hear that message as a Christian, you can see, okay, I hear you, I hear you. Praise God, all that stuff. It's hard to get to, I'm going to kill myself. I'm at peace with it. Right. But I see where you're coming from a more like secular point of view.
But what about the video, which I don't know if you have it, but if you do, let me know. It's a video of him telling the congregation how if, your wife comes to you or somebody comes to you and say that you're being abused, and you shouldn't allow that to affect you, because there are evil people in the world. There are evil people that will lie to you. He did this whole fucking sermon on it. I was like, is this dude kidding me? I heard it on Brittany's channel, and I don't know where it is. I mean, I'll have to find it on her channel. But somebody did a whole compilation of all of his sermons, and it was on that. And it was really interesting, like not interesting in a good way, but interesting in his manipulation tactics.
But even if we were to take your point of view on this kind of like send off, you know, like goodbye, final goodbye video 2 months prior to her death, like who do you blame at that point? Or are you just like, well, this lady just made up her mind, she's just gonna kill herself, and who cares? We'll move on from that. Or do we look into JP Miller, pastor, as somebody that manipulated, as a narcissist, as a controlling figure, a manipulator, a groomer, etc., and there should be charges there because he led her to the death. If he never got involved, then, well, she would be still alive. Where are you at that? At this point?
Hold on. Interview. I forgot about the waitress.
Oh, the waitress?
Yeah.
I could give you the
No, I got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay. And again, I don't know how credible that waitress is, to be honest with you, but you know, it's just her experience, and you know, we share that.
Why do I have it on like 3 videos? All right, hold on.
And I don't know if you looked at Micah Miller's Facebook, and she moved on from the church of JP Miller. And I don't know, this one picture is very bizarre, but
I just wish I knew where this video was of him, of his sermon. So it was, Brittany said that somebody put together a video of all his sermons, but she never said who the creator was. While I play this News Nation, if you could see if you can find it, Morbid, that would be great.
yeah, I don't know where that would be, but let me.
All right.
It's a sermon of him.
Someone put together a video of all of his sermons, like all of his good ones, on one video.
All right, let me check it out. Let me see.
All right, I'm going to play this. Hold on. What? And maybe try looking up like compilation of all of his videos.
Up, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Is it bizarre video? I
Is
see
it what?
bizarre videos of him.
It would be a pretty long video, I'm assuming. All right, let me play this while you look.
Okay.
South Carolina shared this receipt with us from a customer she served on February 23rd.
Oh, that's her. Yeah.
Closely, you see the customer was John Paul Miller, JP Miller, as he's been called. He left that waitress a huge tip along with his phone number.
Yeah, I was just going to say it. Oh, I was thinking $66 tip. So he left her a $20 tip, total bill $66. Okay.
Yeah, and then he put his phone number up there.
This was just 2 months before his wife, Mica, filed for divorce. The waitress, who we're referring to only by her first name, Christiana, reached out to John Paul a few days later and had a casual text exchange with him. Afterward, though, she hit the brakes, she says, after some red flags surfaced about him. And then, last week, after Mica killed herself, Christiana reached out to him yet again, not revealing that she'd made the connection between him and his wife. And she was surprised at his response, to say the least. Christiana joins us now. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Let's just get right to it. You most recently texted him after you heard his wife was dead. What surprised you about his response?
honestly, it didn't really surprise me all that much. I kind of suspected that it wasn't going to be what you would expect from a grieving husband.
What did he say?
It was, well, I asked him if anything was new, and he more or less said, yes, lots new, LOL. I'll text later.
LOL? Laugh out loud?
Yes.
All
Hey,
right.
pause
And
that.
that is
Hey,
at
hey.
that point that you said, okay.
Hey, what you doing? Working. I'm training in the bar. Nice. Maybe I'll stop in later. Send me a pic. So this was what, March 4th. Okay, so this was way before the death. April 7th was, or 27th was the death.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's just trying to get laid or hook up with chicks.
Yeah, because he had a girlfriend. He already had a girlfriend.
That's weird. I mean, who cares? But he's slimy. Okay, we get it. But he's not responsible for the death. But it's still,
See, this is where I'm different, though. Even as a single, if someone said to me, immediately send me a pic, I'd be like, no, you can wait. Like, why do you need a pic that
I mean,
fast?
if he had a girlfriend or somebody that was seeing, which apparently he did at the time, and then
But
he's trying to
to
hit
me,
on
that's
other
a red
women.
flag. That's a red flag to me. If a guy needs a pic immediately, you just fucking saw me, asshole. You
And it's
don't.
just like, okay, so he already has his congregation to, like, there's women in his congregation
Yep.
that he can hit on. And then he goes outside of that because, like having that authority and power as a man or woman, you feel a little bit more confident if you're like, okay, I could go outside of these boundaries. And this is the result of that.
And to be honest with you, I don't think I'd call a guy that only left me a $20 tip. He should have fucking.
Dude, that's a good tip for $40.
Yeah, you want to
tip.
someone? Give him like a 50 or 100. 20
Girl,
bucks.
that's a good
someone.
dude. Shit, man. If the meal was $40, $45, it looks like, and they laid $20, that's a good tip.
It's decent. It's not great.
It's not like,
not phone number worthy.
well, it's not awesome, but that's pretty damn good. $20 for 46.
I don't
It's
know.
pretty goddamn good, I'd say.
You want to
I'd work
impress
for that
me?
shit.
$40 bill, give me a $50 tip. Now you're gonna impress.
What do you want? Well, what is he gonna give you? $50.
But that's why I'm single. No.
No, that's a good tip though. $20 at 46. Let's be honest with you. I mean, not a lot of people tip that much. It'll be probably $10. Even $10 is generous.
You're cheap.
Range.
All right, hold on. Let's play.
Hey, I'm cheap. What?
Hold on.
That's $46.
More with this guy, right?
Actually, I was pretty aware of things from the beginning. I had some suspicions. There were some red flags. I did some research before I even texted him, and then after I did, I spoke with a friend of mine whose friend had a very negative experience, a mortifying experience really, with him and his church.
What happened?
And that's her story to tell. I know that she witnessed some things that were not appropriate and faced some harassment when she tried to speak out about it.
So let's go back to, I want to show up that receipt again for that bill. When you waited on him, was he by himself?
He was with another man.
Okay. And we can see here the bill, he leaves you a $66, no, a $20 tip. Is that what it is?
Yes, it was almost a 50% tip.
A 50% tip. Was it clear to you what he meant by leaving a tip like that and with his phone number and a smiley face?
With the phone number and the smiley face included, I think it was pretty clear.
He wanted you to call him.
I would assume that's the implication.
All right. Then
Oh,
you guys
shit.
exchanged a couple text messages in which he repeatedly asks you to send pictures of yourself.
Yes.
Including bikini pictures, and he called you super hot.
Yes.
Okay. At this point, do you think he's a single guy?
pastor.
Do you know he's married? What do you know about him at this point?
A lot of the things especially after the point that I talked to my friend, I was well aware. I hadn't confirmed everything or all of my suspicions until I talked to my friend. But after that point, I was pretty aware of what was up. And I feel like we have a rampant problem in our country and especially in our churches with this type of behavior. And I feel that it needs to be brought to light. So I saw an opportunity and I took it.
You got an opportunity to try and get proof that he was propositioning other women while married to his wife.
And the fact that he was a pastor approaching people in this manner.
Yeah. Was there any doubt in your mind what he was asking you for?
No, not at all.
And did he ever ask to meet up with you, or did he just want you to send salacious pictures of yourself?
He mostly just seemed to ask for pictures. He didn't say anything about meeting up.
Picture.
Okay. Bottom line, though, this is not the behavior you expect from a pastor, a married pastor, to be trying to hook up or get pictures from waitresses at restaurants.
Yeah.
So you did finally cut off communication with him after you got the proof you felt you needed. Why is that?
I didn't really have anything else to say to him until I found out what happened. And I just didn't say anything else to him until then.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find.
She should come to YouTube and be a do-gooder. Hey, Sammy, be a do-gooder since she wants to, you know, save a hoe.
Yeah, I mean,
there's more though. Hold on.
There's more.
Yeah, that wasn't the only. Ashley Banfield got her too.
All right, so we know he's a creep and he's, you know, disloyal and he's unfaithful.
Who's texting?
Can we charge him for murder? Is the question.
Hang on.
I feel bad for that waitress, honestly, because you know she's gonna get trolled.
All right.
So,
hold on, I had to mute Sage. All right. Where was I? All right. Here's the other one. It's only 2 minutes, but it's also News Nation. That first one was from 3 days ago. This is from 2 days ago.
it was interesting because I didn't see that. So yeah.
Hold on. Am I wrong? Yeah, the title is Waitress Claims Micah Miller's husband. All right, hold on.
You should probably try to connect with her and get her interview because nobody else is looking for her.
They probably will now.
Like, no joke. Like, no one else is. Nobody knows about her really right now.
All right, hold on.
Of a Myrtle Beach pastor's wife. We are learning that the Robeson County Sheriff's Office has released its investigation. Authorities say the evidence they gathered is clear and compelling and have determined Micah Miller's death to be a suicide. Emily Finn joining us this morning. Emily, we understand that a woman believed to be Micah placed the 911 call just hours before her death. What details do we know about the call and any other evidence that helped authorities reach this conclusion?
Yeah, Hannah, we're learning some new details this morning. We now know that Micah Miller called 911 to let operators know that she planned to take her own life the day that she died. Authorities released the audio of her call where she asked them to track her phone so that her family could find her body. Micah was seen on surveillance video purchasing a gun from a pawn shop just hours before her death. The Robeson County Medical Examiner's Office ruled Micah's death as a suicide from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say they found the handgun in the water near Micah's body. Her death sparking controversy as new details continue to emerge about the alleged abuse that she says she faced from her husband. She filed for legal separation just days before her death and filed for divorce last October. Pastor Miller claimed Mica struggled from mental illness, announcing her suicide in a brief speech to his church congregation right after she died. Our very own Elizabeth Vargas spoke with a bartender who claims Pastor Miller was flirting with her,
Here we
left
go.
a huge tip, and gave her his phone number. That was allegedly 2 months before Mica filed for divorce. The bartender reached out to him after learning about Mica's death and says that she was surprised by his response.
He mostly just seemed to ask for pictures. He didn't say anything about meeting up. I kind of suspected that it wasn't going to be what you would expect from a grieving husband.
What did he say?
I asked him if there was anything new, like how have you been, what's new? And he said, lots new, LOL.
News Nation has also been able to confirm with a friend of Mica's that her family plans to file some kind of a lawsuit against Pastor Miller, despite the 911 call and medical examiner's report appearing to corroborate his story, Hannah.
The details just get more and more confusing. Emily, thank you so much for shedding light on this case.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
So what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a waitress that was hit on. I mean, I understand, I guess. What else am I going to say? He's a dude. He's trying to get some poontang.
Any videos?
But
did you find the husband's videos?
No, okay, so I did a
pastor's videos.
So the video that I put in the back chat, and if you go to 732, it's one of my own. And I did the 911 call, and then that'll pretty much tell the entire story because she kills herself right after. And I edited it. I made sure, it's very clear, and you have all of. So if you want to play that, and then you hear the last moments of her life right there and then.
Hang on.
And yeah, so and a lot of people have given shit to the operator handling the situation. Like, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you save her?
She couldn't.
And I actually I kind of cut it down. I mean, because there was a lot of pauses. So keep that in mind that it's not flowing as fluently as what I have in this video that I edited so that
hold on, not for nothing, but it's very possible that she served him with divorce papers. 2 days later, she died. I would absolutely place money on the fact, hey, Tanya, would place money on the fact that she felt that divorce was not something she wanted to do, and that he was threatening her with something, just like he did in the gas station.
Well, it's not true because okay, so there is a timeline to this, and she served him for separation papers and all this, and it was declined. Actually, back in I want to give you the correct information. Back in February of 2024, let me make sure. She filed for separation, and it was dismissed without prejudice on March 12th. And that was the video, the last video that you saw on Facebook that we saw, where she posted, "Hey guys, I'm alive and well." So she tried to file for separation, but for some reason it was dismissed without prejudice. I don't know why. Maybe it's the state that they live in. I mean, if it happened in California, a liberal, woke-ass state that I live in, maybe it'll go through. But wherever they're living at. I guess maybe it just went through, or they just denied it. Like, no, you can't have a separation. So then John Paul, okay, so Micah files for separation from John Paul again in April, the month that she killed herself, April 15th, 16th. And there was a hearing on April 23rd, 4 days before she killed herself. And the hearing for the separation was set for June 5th. So it was still in the works. So she killed herself before the hearing of the separation was set. So a lot of things were going on April 25th, 2 days before she killed herself. Mica serves her husband with divorce papers. Yeah, it's weird because she tried to separate from him, and it just didn't work for her.
He was threatening her with something.
I just don't know why, like, how come? I don't know if it's the state that they live in that they're more lenient towards that, or politically, and it's Robeson County, so I'm not sure how to, I can't answer that question, but there were some issues with her separation and her divorce.
Do you know if they did a toxicology report?
From what I know so
think
far,
at one point he got. I think he got hooked on drugs at one point.
From what I've seen, no. And what do you think would be in the toxicology report that would change the outcome of this death?
I don't know. It depends if she had drugs on her. But she made a comment during the video about being on, someone giving you drugs. And I noticed that a year ago, he's got a series called Christians with Addictions, Part 2, Responsibility. So between him saying that and her saying about being hooked on drugs, or, the spouse will give you drugs, makes me wonder if he gave her drug. And she gave like a weird face when she said it.
I don't know, but back in early May 5th to be exact, there's a quote from Micah Miller saying that if I wind up dead with a bullet in my head,
I know it's not.
It was not by me. It was by John Paul Miller. But again, we know that's not true. That's not a fact. But she clearly feared for her life from her estranged husband.
Let me just tell you, this series, there's like 10 parts to it, and they're all like a half hour apiece.
What series is it?
Christians with Addictions. Now I wonder,
where did you get this series from?
I'm looking at it online.
That's interesting. It doesn't have anything to do with this case. It's just
we don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I believe in like religion.
But I'm thinking that maybe this is it. I'm thinking that he must have given her drugs at some point. He had to have been giving her drugs at some point. That's only 5 minutes.
See, that I don't know, but go to the 911 call that I put in the background and let me see what you think. I cut it down a little bit because there was a lot of like pauses, and then people were blaming the dispatcher for her death, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, come on.
The 911 call she called in?
Yeah. So I put a YouTube, and then it's at 7:32. where it starts. And yeah, so they blame her they blame the dispatcher for the death of Micah Miller. Again, you're going to place blame everywhere that you can.
Video's kind of a repeat. Hold on.
It's the last link that I put in back chat.
Now I got it. Hold on.
What you get? Yeah, what you get. 7:32 is where approximately is that?
I'm gonna start from here.
12 p.m. Mica seen on store surveillance walking into Dick's Pawn Shop, which is located at 1852 Mr. Joe White Avenue in Myrtle Beach. 12:13 p.m. Micah Miller seen buying a weapon. 12:34 p.m. Micah seen leaving Dick's Pawn Shop after purchasing a weapon and ammunition. 1:06 p.m. Micah's black Honda Accord is seen traveling on Highway 501 near 4 Mile Road in Conway. 1:27 p.m. Micah's black Honda Accord is seen arriving at 41 Grocery and Grill, which is located on Highway 41 in Mullins. 1:35 p.m. Micah is seen leaving the store after buying a drink and gas. 2:54 p.m. A 911 call was made from an 843 area code number. Micah Miller asked if her phone could be located and then threatened suicide. Micah hung up the phone before further information could be gathered by dispatch. The telecommunicator tried to call Micah back multiple times and was unable to make contact. Warning. The 911 call you are about to hear deals with suicide and can be sensitive for some. Listener discretion is advised.
Robertson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
You don't know where you're at?
And National Park.
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff. I have my location on, I think, on my phone.
Did it ever come out why she drove all the way to North Carolina only to call 911 to tell them where she is? Like, wouldn't it have been easier just to...
No, I don't know. Maybe she was familiar with the area, and I really don't know. That I can answer.
Okay.
Find my phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, I don't think you are in Robeson County. Are you at the Lumber River State Park?
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
What she was doing was buying time. She was trying to, let Mica know, hey, I may not have your location. I may not be able to track you. So just bear with me, trying to get the police to fucking get there ASAP. So I thought...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't
did a
think
great
there
job.
should be any blame on the dispatcher.
Not at all.
At all. Like, how can you handle that situation? Number one, she's doing exactly what she needs to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Find the location, what is going on, and...
You want to hear a bad 911 call? Listen up, fucking Marty.
But she hung up and then shot herself moments after this call.
Yeah.
And then somebody heard it. There was a witness. Who heard the shot. And that's this sad sort of ending to it.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording.
So as soon as she knew that they got the location and her parents and family members would be able to locate her body, she's, fuck it, man. I'm ready to shoot myself and I'm done. Life is over.
Because when you're ready to go, you're not going to sit there and wait on hold.
And isn't that the thing? Yeah. I mean, people who are willing to kill themselves, because there's a whole thing about that, but they don't announce their death and blah, blah, blah. You know, they don't make it a big deal. They're just like, it's going to happen. I want to kill myself. So it is going to be exactly how I'm going to have it happen. So, you know, the people that are always constantly looking for, hey, you know, sympathy, empathy. No, you're doing a disservice to those who are just, I'm fed up with life. I'm done. See you later. Yes, I love my family. This is where I'm going to be. Bye. Hang up. She didn't stay on the line looking for more empathy and, oh, you know, will you help me? Nothing. No. Hangs up, shoots herself. Done. End of life. And that's the reality.
I wish I knew. I got to ask Brittany where she got this video.
Brittany J?
Yeah. Because she had made a comment and said that it was like it was great that someone put together this compilation of all of his sermons, and it was in there. And it was this sermon.
I bet it was.
It was this sermon that this particular one that I wanted to find.
But don't you think that's part of gaslighting and like narcissism and control?
What?
Because he has that authority and power to over his congregation. So he's just like leading them, saying, it's not going to be my fault if something happens, you know? And clearly he didn't give a shit because he's, you know, going after waitresses and whoever on the side. You know, we saw pictures of him with his new girlfriend or whatever, you know. I don't know. It's just, I look at Mica and her life and how sad it is because I don't know if she had a chance at 10 years of age being groomed by this pastor to really have an opportunity, because domestic violence is, and you should know because you've experienced it yourself, you know, it's not something to poo-poo on. It's a serious matter.
Because people don't understand psychological abuse. They only understand physical abuse. Physical abuse is much, much easier to prove. And there's laws against it. And it goes totally, you know, it's front and center. You kick the shit out of someone, they're going to see it. When you mentally abuse someone, it's so hard to prove. Now you take your mentally abusing someone who also has mental illness. That will be fucking impossible to prove in court. Absolutely impossible. But this video that I'm looking for, let me just tell you, this video that I'm looking for is, hold on. Bizarre video of Pastor John Paul Miller surfaces from 7 hours ago.
Okay.
Hold on. Not what I'm looking for, but the one that I'm looking for, I'll play this in a minute. But the one that I'm looking for is he was doing a sermon and he was legit telling his people in the middle of a sermon how all about marriage. And, you know, if someone calls you, if I call you morbid and I tell you that my husband is, is, you know, bad news, or my husband, well, you shouldn't call your friends, because if they're really your friends, you know, you shouldn't talk about your husband like that. So if your friend is calling you about their husband, you don't want to listen to that. That's not what it's about. Like, he's so manipulating. And I'm like, oh my God. And I can't find that video because I don't know which sermon it was under or anything. Oh my God. It was wild. I was like, wow. This
So
is
essentially, he's setting up his congregation for
absolutely, totally setting them up. And,
just
you know,
as he groomed Micah. And people are saying, well, she was 15 years old or 10 years old. So I'm just referencing facts from ABC 15 News, from the local news. Micah Miller accused estranged husband of grooming her at church from age 10. So again, 15 or 10, it doesn't even matter. It's a minor, regardless of how you look at it. But that's her story. And I could go into detail of that and make a video of that, but you know, so
hold on, Crystal. There, we covered that earlier. The difference between that case and other cases, that was like a that was similar to physical abuse, because that was so front and center that you couldn't dispute it. It was so blatantly obvious that she manipulated him. That's like someone beat you up and you go to the hospital. It's so blatantly obvious that someone just kicked your ass. That's the same kind of thing. When it comes to psychological abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, it's not cut and dry. It's very hard to prove. So that's where it's different. But let me check out this video. I don't know what it is.
okay.
JP. You all right, man? You okay? Huh? You okay?
Is that him?
What's the matter?
It's him.
I don't know. I saw this video. I didn't look through the whole thing, but somebody sent me a link of this. Is that JP?
Is somebody helping you? Oh, okay.
I don't think
I don't see why it would be.
Okay. But you got Mark coming?
Somebody called him, I think.
Okay. So, is your medication something they gave you?
Is that him though? I don't think that's him.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the facial features right now, and I have his other picture up on his wedding day or something like that. It's pretty similar. So I don't know. It looks like him. And trust me, I got video of this, and people are like, you should look at this. This is him. So it must be him. I don't know.
Can you want me to make sure Mark's coming? But somebody's called him, right? Okay. All right. Hey JP, I think Mark is coming. I had him try to get in touch with me again to make sure. Is that okay? Huh? Feels like there's ants on you? There's no ants on you, though. It's just, maybe that's how you feel, but there's none on you.
So he has
There's none
mental
on the
issues
grass.
too.
What kind of medicine do they have you on?
I didn't hear his drugs, but
All right, well, somebody's going to come, okay?
this is him, though. By the way, it is confirmed.
All
It
right.
is him.
Him saying that he has ants all over him, that's total drugs.
Yeah, I mean that's bipolar. Look, there schizophrenia could be.
Or it's like cocaine, meth, flacco.
Definitely something, right? So, but this is him because I'm getting confirmation this is him. It's no doubt him. This was a video that's been circulating for a day or two, and I've received it multiple times, and I can confirm this is JP, Jonathan Paul Miller,
Thank
pastor. It's weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say.
Do I need to call 911? Do I need to call the medics?
Guys, I don't think this is mental health. I think this is straight up street drugs.
This is a joke, or
street drugs,
or it's street drugs.
Yeah, this to me is
I
not.
don't know.
This is straight up street drugs, like flak or something.
I don't get it. Like, what is he trying to do? What is he trying to accomplish?
Well, if he's on flacca, he's gonna start eating someone's face. All right, hold on.
Yeah, we got somebody coming. You want some water or anything? You want some water?
Do you know the
Yeah, he
date
said
of this
okay.
video?
You got a
Laura?
little bottle of water?
Hey, Laura. Do you know the date of this video? By any chance?
Put out 9 hours ago, but
Because his wife died April 27th, so I'm curious. Like, was it after?
No, I think this was before, but I don't know.
It's okay. Wow. I don't know when this video surfaced or when it was. It's wow. This is crazy.
This is total street drugs. Total street drugs.
I don't know. I think they changed his medication or something, he said. And he said, like, ants was crawling on him and stuff. So I got some returning. Okay. Yeah. I live across the street. Back over here. Oh, okay. So. Well, let me know if I can do anything. Okay, I think he's. Here's some water, JP. You want some water? Okay, you want to try to sit up?
This must be after.
You want to try to sit up, or you want to put it to your mouth, or what? I'll be out in a few minutes if you need it. Okay. Is that enough? You want more?
I can't stop making noises in the morning when I wake up.
If Mark can't make it quick, you want me to get your mom over here?
I don't want my mom anywhere in the church. They're crazy.
So,
The reason why
Laura, it
Hold
looks
up.
like it was while he was cheating on his first wife, Mica, in 2015 or 16. So this was like early on.
Okay, I
from
was gonna say
what I'm getting.
the reason why I think this is old. Why wouldn't they say, "Do you want me to call your wife?"
Yeah, exactly. So this was like prior to, you know, the death of Micah. Which is bizarre because he would claim in his sermons that his wife is mentally ill, and then here he is mentally ill.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that this is straight drugs. Yeah, I don't think this.
You don't think it's an act and he was, or it's just drugs? He's just addicted to
for
drugs.
what though? Like, what would be his reasoning for an act?
Exactly. I don't know. I really don't. I have no answer to that.
I don't really see a reason for it.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, hold on, there's only like 50 seconds left.
Always told him I didn't get on medication, and this is what it does. Crazy. I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't do nothing. Oh, I feel like I hit some eyes. Can't open up eyes. That's what I'm doing.
If Mark can't make it quick, you want me to get your mom over
I
here?
don't want my mom anywhere in the church. They're crazy. I always told him I didn't get on medication, and this is what it does. Crazy.
Wow.
Why didn't my dumbass have fucking closed caption on to begin with?
I don't know, but he's clearly blaming psychiatric drugs on his condition that he's been put in here. So
Hold on, let me see.
and again, this is a couple of years or few years before Micah killed herself. So
Now, I hate to go through this again, but I want to see what closed caption picks up because I'm not getting.
yeah, I couldn't really hear him. He was talking about Jesus and
exactly.
this is what prescription medication does to you and blah blah blah, drugs.
If that's true, I mean, I've been fucking high as a kite, freaking out, having a cocaine fucking psychotic episode, and I blame prescription drugs. There was no prescription drugs. It was just me me embarrassed by having a total cocaine.
I don't know, but he's never talked about his mental situation in the sermons. He always blamed his Mica, his wife, on mental issues and mental drugs. That she wasn't taking her medication, and then here he is saying something different. Totally.
Hold on.
You okay? Huh? You okay? What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter?
Switch my medication. Makes me go crazy.
Yeah. Is somebody helping you?
I think Mark's company for me.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was going to see Jesus.
Okay. But you got Mark coming?
Somebody called him, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to invite me.
So,
Because it's biting me everywhere.
is your medication something they gave you?
Yeah, I'm a drug.
Yeah.
Some new doses or something.
Can you want me to make sure Mark's coming?
Yeah, all I do is find out when the phone's on me.
Sounds like such a
But
bitch.
somebody's called him, right?
Yeah, the lady across the street called.
Okay. All right. Hey, JP. I think Mark is coming.
Embarrassing.
I had him try to get in touch with me again to make sure. Is that okay? Huh?
Ants fight me. There's ants all over me.
He was letting there's ants on you? There's no ants on you, though. It's just, maybe that's how you feel, but there's none on you. There's none on the grass. What kind of medicine do they have you on? All right, well, somebody's going to come, okay?
That's a nice grass, though. Very well kept.
Call 911? Do I need to call the medics? Yeah, we got somebody coming. You want some water or anything?
Give us some holy water.
You
All day long, I look at the ceiling, wonder what my kids are doing.
He should go to jail for this video.
How the fuck does closed circuit pick this up?
Dude,
I can't understand a word.
get him to jail immediately. Lock him up.
But I mean, if you saw someone
Holy
like this,
Christ.
your first reaction wouldn't be call 911. Fuck this Mark, dude. Call
That
911.
probably dump him in a trash can somewhere with his body parts spread everywhere. I mean, good God, what the hell is this? Oh Lord. Oh my God. We have to live amongst these folks. Seriously. This is pathetic, man. Oh man.
All right, we get the gist.
Oh Jesus.
All right, there's something else from News Nation.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I want to hear it.
Stop. All right. 2 hours ago, Micah Miller's family holds husband responsible for death.
Let's do it. Let's check that shit out. Yeah. Family matters, though. So let's see what they have to say about this.
Stop. What? Stop. Why is this not pausing?
I don't know.
Stop. I'm going to boot you if you don't stop.
All right, here we go.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
Micah's father.
Under these circumstances, and my heart goes out to your family in dealing with what you are coping with. I cannot imagine being in your shoes. Michael, if I may begin with you, you feel that the investigation has been less than complete, to say the least, on Micah's death. What do you believe happened? What is your theory of how Micah died?
My theory of how Micah died. Well, I know he was pushed to the brink. I know that there's no reason for her to be out there in that area. We've never been there. She's never been there. I mean, my theory is broad right now. There's bruises on her hand. There's injury to her other arm, like a handprint. And these things were not documented, and they did not show up for no reason. And we were not satisfied with the answers that we were given in the entirety. It didn't seem like enough was done. And we just want more answers. We want more checking into this.
And Destiny, the investigators still have not released Micah's personal possessions, like her cell phone in particular, which is a pretty critical piece of evidence. Tell me why it is so important for the family to get those things back.
Micah had been gathering information to help with her divorce for quite a while, previous to her her commitment to the hospital that was unwilling. She had all of her stuff on her phone at that time and her laptop. When she was committed against her will, John Paul had went to the hospital to pick up her items, deleted all of her information off of those items, and held them till they were past the date that we could recover anything. So it's very vital for us to get this cell phone that she currently had, because we do believe that there could be quite a bit of evidence on there.
Michael, one of the things that I think has stuck with a lot of people is that Micah met John Paul when she was in the youth ministry in the church, when she was just 14,
Right.
and he was a leader in the church. That did not escape a lot of people. Ultimately, they ended up married. But is there something that you and the family know or feel or believe about Micah's claim that she was being groomed from the time she was a child?
Absolutely. Yes, her demeanor changed over time, and she became more and more compressed, less and less of herself. And as soon as they got married, her behavior went downhill fast as far as being her lively, jovial self. And she seemed to be more sad, more under control, and didn't seem to be her free self, didn't seem to be able to accomplish things she wanted to without him causing them to end. She would do something amazing, and he would shut it down.
See, personally, I think they're going down a route that they don't want to go down.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
long
but you could
process.
imagine, okay, so the father is very heavily involved in, like, oh man, this guy, this fucking asshole.
I mean, nobody wants to admit that their daughter committed suicide,
Which
but
happened.
I
That's
know.
the facts and the evidence point to that.
I agree. I just think they're going
Period.
down
100%. I mean,
they don't want to go down.
But I could see why the family is looking a different direction in trying to get this guy prosecuted for murder. But again, I don't think they're going to be successful at that.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, because like there's videos coming out now on News Nation, and I put the link in the background in the back chat, and just making Mr. Pastor JP look like the douchebag that he is on that lawn.
Yeah.
And so, he's at a gas station. That's the News Nation video clip that I put in there, and it just came out today. And they're gonna paint him this way.
Yeah.
Is he a douchebag and a dick? Absolutely.
Oh, there was no toxicology. That's why I was wondering if there was toxicology. But she was cremated. But yeah, but even though she was cremated, they got everything they needed to get.
Yeah, I mean, the authorities already have basically suppressed the rumors of it being a murder or anything because literally they have JP Miller on CCTV.
Yeah.
During the time of death. So it's undisputable. Is he a dick? And he treated her terribly? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Hold on.
What can he do with that information?
And would not repeat function. I just believe he really compressed her. I really believe that he just sucked the life right out of her and caused her to go downhill from the moment after they got married, the moment after he forced her to have a certain surgery, and she had a violent reaction from the anesthesia, and he took advantage of that.
What kind of surgery are you saying he forced her to have?
I would rather not say.
Okay, I understand. But I do want to pull on that thread a little. Do you believe that John Paul Miller had inappropriate sexual contact with Mica before she was legally allowed to be in that kind of a relationship? Do you think there
100%.
could be charges
There's a statute of limitations.
It wasn't that old. I mean, we're going about 15 years maybe max, because she was 30, right? So let's say
but they got married.
Yeah, so that's the parents' fault because the parents gave permission for that. That's the problem. So, whatever state they live in, it doesn't matter. The parents gave permission.
Right. I'm unaware of anything that occurred when she was still a young teen, 14 or so. Destiny, do you have anything? I'm not sure.
As far as him reaching out to her and continuously texting her while she was a teen, he convinced her to get away from our family during her teens, told her that he would find different households for her to live in within the church to get her away from our family, as well as he helped her get a car and
that's her
told
sister.
her to find adults and tell them
See,
stories
that's a
that they could
different sister.
trust, to get her away from our family, and that's
Or
how
the
he
affidavit.
initially isolated her during her teens.
Do you think, Destiny, that he was having a sexual relationship with her when she was underage?
That I can't lay any claim to.
100%.
I'm not exactly sure to the extent of their relationship at that time, other than the getting her away from the family, getting her to talk to other people, and putting her in homes of other family members. But that is when I believe that the initial grooming did start.
And Destiny, just describe some of the changes that you saw in your sister after she married John Paul.
Mica was so full of life. She was funny and energetic, someone that just lit up every room that she walked into. And once they were together, especially for that first initial couple years, I mean, she just deteriorated. She was not herself. You could see that maybe she was you could see just the downfall in her personality as far as becoming sad or trying to put on a mask to not let people in of her own private, from what I'm finding out, on her own private hell.
Michael, is there a chance that you and your family will launch any kind of civil litigation against John Paul Miller, whether it's wrongful death or whether it's an encouragement for the police to launch criminal charges for anything they may discover in the evidence that we've been able to unearth, the stalking and the harassment, the physical evidence and the admissions and the emails, even to our producer, that he had done those things.
Absolutely. We're going to push for every law that can help and push for laws that don't even exist yet. We need a lot of support. We need people that can help write new laws if necessary, and staff this situation to springboard forward and protect Mica and also protect.
And that's exactly what I was saying. The laws don't exist yet. They're not going to be able to do anything.
But isn't it difficult to even go there? Because once you go there, then it opens up a whole can of worms that
True.
you might not
But
want to go through, you know?
if that's where their focus is, they will be successful. If their focus is to be like, Amber's Law, that they're going to write a new law in South Carolina, hopefully it'll go federal, then I could see them being extremely successful.
Yeah, I already know this is not going to happen. It's just not.
Well,
I mean, domestic violence, the awareness of it, the
They
father
could
should
get
be
a
more
new
pro
law.
of that, right? More than anything.
They could get a new law, but
What are you going to charge him with? Honestly, being a douchebag? I mean, then every fucking man's going to
But
be
that's what I'm saying.
charged with being a douchebag.
They may not be able to charge him, but they may be able to help someone else. They may be able to help the next person.
It's really like, man, I'm on board, but it's sketchy and it's real difficult, right? To get there. As an American too. I mean, like, man, then you're really under a microscope, and it's magnified to a degree that you just don't want to go that route, especially in crime. You can't go there,
The video you showed me, we watched already. That's the gas station.
Oh, I did. Okay. But I'm just saying, man, you just can't.
Hold on. Everyone said
I
there's
thought not, but
hang on.
it's a slippery slope.
9 hours. I'm not seeing anything from an hour ago. Oh, the topless photo? Is that what you guys were talking about? That
Is
he
there another video?
It's a short. Micah Miller's husband admits he posted a topless photo. Hold on.
Just okay, there we go.
Hold on.
Mica had been threatened that a topless photo of her would be posted on the internet. And now he is admitting that it was him. He was the one making those threats.
Yes. So this goes back to this apology letter that we have. It's an apology letter from him to Mica, dated April 15th. In it, he's apologizing for a series of things, and one of them is a photo that was produced on the internet. It was topless of her. We're not going to show that here, of course, but in the apology, he says, "I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that."
It's very immature. I don't know why he would do that to his wife. Yeah, he should be in jail for being a douchebag. Dick. But I don't think there's a case here. I understand the father and what he's been going through and the family and the friends. But as much as I would like to put this guy behind bars, but it's really difficult because there's a fine line,
Well,
it's really difficult to cross. I mean, shit, we can't even get murder, like Chris Watts murder, straight up. people are still going on about how he didn't annihilate his entire family. Give me a break. You know, it's just like, and then you introduce something as complex as, well, it was narcissism. It was control of the mind. And now we're going to prosecute people on this. I mean, we can't, because it'll get out of control and
I agree.
everybody will go to jail.
All right,
Honestly.
I'm getting off though. I'm tired.
All right, there we go. Thanks, Laura.
Coming
It's good
up.
talking to you.
It was good.
All right.
All
Bye.
right, bro.
All right.
All right. You could tell when someone's drinking too much. Thanks, Yarn. Was that the 5-minute something video? No, that was just a short. I can't find the one you guys are talking about. I don't see it. Oh, is this it? It was evil. Micah Miller's. This was 2 hours ago. It's an 8-minute video, actually. It's an 8-minute video. Not a 5-minute video. But we can save for tomorrow. I've been on 3 hours. But I also want to say, let me just morbid, it sidetracked me. But I heard a lot of shit today that, like, all of a sudden I'm the same person as Molly. I am not the same person as Molly. I am me. And I don't understand why I get grouped into every single person I ever talk to. So, you know who you are. Stop fucking grouping me as like one person. Okay? So that's all I want to say about that. I know, Coffee. I've been on for 3 hours. I'm tired. No, not you, ASD. There are some people earlier before my live that went live, and, you know, everything that's said is all of a sudden I'm the same person. Life outside of YouTube. What life? Fluffer's my life. Right, Fluffy? Right, Fluffy? He knows it. But Yarn, it doesn't matter. It goes with everybody. Everybody groups me into whoever I hang out with. Are you really, Jeanette? Nah, 2 different people. I'm just saying, it could be you, Yarn, but I always get grouped into being someone that I'm not. And I'm kind of tired of it. So when I heard that I was being accused, like, well, Laura did that. Laura's a bully. I am the furthest fucking thing from a bully ever. And I'm sorry. I am not. I'm me, plain and simple. I'm absolutely not a bully. I'm absolutely not a fucking. And that was the other thing. I don't feel like I've been bullied. I just think a bunch of insecure people, insecure, jealous people have nothing better to do with their life but blame me for all their shortcomings. So, no, I don't consider myself ever being bullied. Bullied is for like little kids. So I just think a bunch of insecure fucking people just come after me or have something to say about me. That's on them. That's not on me. Oh, I'll straighten that out, Jeanette. You're definitely not that Jeanette. So, and then to hear like, oh, Laura's such a bully. I didn't fucking bully at all. Right, Fluffy? You're a bully. You bully Buka. You bully Buka. The only way or time I imagine your name would get brought up is telling him jail. No, I'm telling you, it's crazy. People automatically just think that we're like, whoever I hang out with, I must be like them. No, I have my own feelings. And I'm not like some crazy fucking person, right? I'm crazy for you. I'm crazy for you. I love my Fluffy. Not taking sides, everyone loses. Hey, I gave Glera a donation today. I gave him $2. I said, all bullshit aside, you're doing a great job on this case. He was like, thank you. My fucking leg hurts. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not like anybody else. I'm just me. But I get roped into what everybody else that I was around me does, and that's bullshit. So, but I'm gonna get off. We gotta fix Phoenix's car tomorrow, so I don't have to keep driving him around. And that's it. So I want to thank you guys. And I'll see you all beautiful people tomorrow. Sorry I went on so late today. I had so much going on today. I was driving around and had to pick up Phoenix from work, and then I had to pick up Dayton from the football game. And so, yeah. So I'm going to bed. But I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Not sure what time, but try to go back to like 8 o'clock. And we will continue this because I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of more stuff out there tomorrow. I am just Laura. That's it. Just me. And don't forget, order your candles, energycandles.com. I know Monday is Mother's Day. And that's it. I won't be working Sunday. Don't know what the kids are doing, but I won't be working. All right. So make sure you order your candles and your air fresheners. Criminal Med loves hers. There's a couple of other people that ordered some that should have got it today. I got to check. As everyone got their orders by Mother's Day, except the ones that came in today. So I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Again, don't forget energycandles.com, ENERGIE. I've slowly started to remove the 7-ounce and the 14-ounce, 9-ounce prices. I lowered a little to 27, and that's where it's at. And yes, rest in peace, Heels. Rest in peace, Mica, and everybody else that's passed, because a lot of people have passed. So, all right. I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Peace.